Welcome to a word of hope for Wednesday of the 6th week in Ordinary Time. My name is Father Brian Walker. As you see, I'm standing here in lots of sunlight. And for wherever you may be, it may seem that that's very natural. Here in Chicago, we get very little sunlight, especially in the wintertime. We're always stuck in clouds and cold. It hasn't been as cold this year, but there's still an awful lot of clouds. And so as a result, we don't see it that much. So seeing it now makes all the difference in the world. We see the plants, we see how everything is starting to sprout up, and we see very clearly. In the gospel today, we hear about Jesus and his disciples going along the way, and once again, a blind man comes to him. They've presented him, and what he wants to do is he wants to see. Can you imagine? He wants to see because he's heard so much about Jesus. And so he asks to see. And Jesus lays hands on him. And then all of a sudden he asks him, "Can you see?" And he says, "Well, I see something that looks like trees walking around." And the first thing you want to say is, wait a minute, did Jesus not get it right the first time? I mean, after all, Jesus, God, never makes mistakes. But you're amazed at what happens. Because then he lays hands on him again, and all of a sudden he can see clearly. It's kind of like what we experience here. Sometimes things are cloudy. Sometimes you cannot see. Sometimes you can't even see what's in front of you. Why? Because sometimes we are closed. And in that being closed, we cannot make out what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to see. And so this is a time for us to really take advantage of the clarity that we have. It's not just because the sun is out, but it's also the fact that there is a feeling that comes over us and makes us feel so much better. May the Lord strengthen us on our journey as we ask to be able to see, not just because we may or may not happen to be blind, but because of the fact that sometimes things are cloudy. Sometimes that's the way the world is. May the Lord help us to see each and every day. Amen.